What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Adam Hebert, Saints need a tank, lose every game, and hope to draft a quarterback. I don't know. I'm. They're not, I mean, they're whatever. They're not going to do the pseudo tank thing anyway. I'm not someone who necessarily loves that. I still think like winning games is fun. Like if you beat the Lions on Sunday, I think that'll be fun. I think there's a lot of quarterback options though coming up here in the future, the next couple of years, where you should be able to potentially find one.
Again, not Peyton Manning, not Eli Manning, not Arch Manning. Archie Manning is the last time the Saints drafted one in the first round. So,
let's be honest. New Heights podcast is a better version of T-Bob and Jake, and then he goes on to say OTB greater than New Heights. I don't know if he understood the greater than less than sign, but yeah, I mean
Memphis is learning that right now. I'm like, look, it's an alligator's mouth. He eats the larger number.
Yes.
New Heights. Oh, is that the little mnemonic device there?
That's how I've always remembered it since kindergarten.
I never knew that, dude.
Yeah.
Give Carr a mirror advisor so they can't read his eyes. I mean, smart. That's some next level thinking, dude. Just bring him Taysom immediately when they get to the 20. I mean, we joke, but like I literally thought that was what they were going to do.
That's a problem I have with the Saints and the play calling is nothing's consistent from one game to another.
Yeah, because they had games where they kind of did do that with Taysom. Were great. I mean, I guess Taysom did fumble in the red zone this last time after gaining the 10 yards, which is kind of a sign.
But again, hey, he gained 10 yards. Ain't nobody else out there gaining 10 yards.
True.
They have no rhyme or reason from game to game. I should be able to turn on a game tape, and I should see similar things throughout the game. Now, enough differences where you don't fall into tendencies and you can't game plan for it. But it's just like every game they come in with just a game plan that doesn't make sense, and there's no continuity from what it was the week before. And I know you have to switch things up, but it feels like they're trying to be the smartest guy in the room sometimes. It's like, no, just throw number 7 in there. You pay him a lot of money. He's produced for you way more than your starting quarterback. Yeah, he's going to have a fumble, but look how many times he's touching the football.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that is one of his issues. I realize that, but it's the only thing that's working right now. I mean, again, 3 touchdown passes, and that's 35, and none of them are from your starting quarterback.
Yeah. Like you gotta be bold at a certain point. But I don't know. The Saints appear from all the answers that they gave in the public yesterday to think if they just keep chipping away at it, that eventually it's going to fix themselves. I think that's a fool's errand, a fool's hope. You know, the old definition of insanity quote, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But, time will tell. Meritocracy and all that. You prove it on the football field. Bryce Boudreaux, MMA announcer, $20 super chat. Yo, T-Bob, it was an honor to get to meet you after Whiskey and Wine at Don Juan this past week with my dad. Thanks for everything. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. Thank you, Bryce. It was very fun. We will see what the bowl game Whiskey and Wine ends up being. Oh, I'm on Top Chat right now. Let me get to live. Somebody said, Daniel Blunt, did you hear Mickey on WWL, Mickey Loomis? He said we had the 12th ranked offense in the NFL. Well, they do, actually. I want to say it's over a pretty big stretch. It's like 5 or 6 games. The Saints are 3rd in the league in total yardage per game. So it is odd. Like they are moving it consistently and producing between the 30s. It's just that once they get close to the end zone, they completely implode. And as we said, what's the common denominator between a Raiders team last year that did the same thing and struggled in the red zone, and the Saints team this year? It is Derek Carr. And if you look at his career, he's been below average. And now, these last 2 years, he's been worst in the NFL. So I'm sure, obviously, right, you had penalties and everything else. Like, everybody has things they could do better in that area of the field, but it does start, and the majority of the blame lies with Derek Carr.
So basically, Mickey Loomis is going to draft Graham Mertz at some point, is what that told me.
Why is that?
Because I could look at Graham Mertz and what he did this year, and the numbers
Yes.
are great, but there was a lot of empty numbers. There was a lot of numbers that didn't affect the game, and that's what that quote tells me. Like you can't get up there and say that knowing how deficient you are at putting the football into the end zone. Like that's like yards, and like we talk about like Jaden Daniels' yards because it also has 50 touchdowns attached to it. If it had 28 touchdowns attached to it, the yards wouldn't mean anything. The yards mean something because you're finishing in the end zone like you're supposed to.
Kirk Ferentz says it. There's not a more empty stat in football. There's not a more pointless stat in football than offensive yardage. Tries to tell you every year. And look at him now. Another Big Ten championship. Should be 11-1 right now. Just proving his point about how overrated offensive yardage is. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.